Well, good morning, everybody. It is the 28th of October, 2024, and it's a Monday here in beautiful downtown Pahrump. And it is, let's see, 68 degrees outside, and it's 82 already in here. So maybe I should crack a window or a vent or two. But it feels fine right at the moment. And so we're going to keep going, and I'm going to read these comments. And the first one is from Ken Gray. Um, your good news video disappeared this morning. It did. So good. My good news videos. I do a good news story that I find, or that I usually have a lot of help finding. You know who you are. And I do one a day every day, and I've done it for the past 237 days, I think. And they don't get many views. And here's the reason they don't get many views is because it's not really related to my niche. I'm doing videos that aren't related to the main part of my channel. It's not RV news, right? So it limits the audience. So I tried an experiment, trying to follow some advice of some YouTuber. There's a box that you check when you're uploading that says share through to your subscribers, send them notifications. You can uncheck that if you have something. They say if you have something that's one-off and you want a wider audience, uncheck that box. So I did that yesterday, and I got 21 views on yesterday's positive news video. So that piece of expert advice on the internet was useless. So that's Ken. That's why it disappeared, because I first uploaded it to be notified. Then I unlisted it, got rid of it, uploaded it again without the notification, and I got 21 views. So lesson learned. Ken Gray, for typos, I read my comments 3 times before. I read my comments 3 times before hitting the comment button and still make mistakes. Yeah, me too. Stacy Jones jumps on there and says I can relate. A day in my nomad life, an inside look. That's an hour-long video where basically, if you haven't seen it, I just take you along with me for the day. And I had the vaguest of plans of what I was going to do, and it ended up being a very typical day, doing pretty mundane things. And I just, I didn't show you every minute because it wouldn't be an hour. It would be, an all-day video, which would be really boring. But I gave you, what I did was I silenced everything except for the intro and the outro, the intro and the conclusion where I thank you. All that, I didn't bother doing any narration. I just had the camera on me, the camera on the road, because I was running some errands, and I just concentrated on my day and didn't think about talking to you and giving a running commentary. So I went back in editing and put on my microphone and voiced over the whole thing and explained what I was doing, what I was thinking. And I think it worked out pretty well. I was pretty happy with it, and I got quite a few views on it. So the first comment on that from Ken is, I tell myself I don't need much butter, but I wants it. It's like, what's that got to do with it? Well, I made my breakfast, and you saw me make my breakfast. And as I'm putting the butter on the English muffin, I'm thinking, boy, that's a lot of butter. You're putting probably more butter than you need to have. So that he's responding to that. Wendy Sosa says, thanks for sharing your day. She says, Ace is my Yorkshire Terrier. His day just doesn't go the same if I don't take him on his long morning sniff. I made Yorkie's food also pretty much the same. Ground beef or turkey, peas, carrots, blueberries. I add a little brown rice and turmeric. I feel it's less expensive and so much healthier. We're in agreement there. Renee Roscoe, that's so nice. Both you and Dottie get socialization. I think Dottie was waiting for a treat. We have a GD17 MKE, tiny but thankful for our countertop. I tried making homemade food for our Yorkie when he was with us. He wouldn't eat leftovers. I'm not sure exactly. She means the Yorkie wouldn't eat the homemade stuff because it was leftovers. I don't know. Pete Diaz, I like that you have your Halloween pumpkin out. Yeah, I have a little plastic Halloween pumpkin with a light in it. Let's see, Pete. Everybody wants that toaster, and that's I'm talking about the little toaster that sits on top of one of my burners on the propane stove. It's called a Camp A toaster, and you can't get it anymore. I don't know why they stopped making them. What an amazing story. She's a really sweet little girl. That was from Lisa Roth, not on the day in the life. It was a 4-year-old generosity. It was about a 4-year-old girl with diagnosed with autism who really had verbal expression problems. And it's a wonderful story about her generosity towards people in her area that were affected by the hurricane. Bill Snyder, back to a day in the life. Great video. I really enjoyed it. Elwood. Hello, my friend. It's your buddy Elwood enjoying this great video. I just realized there's only 10 minutes left, which means I've been sitting here enjoying your super nice home-based tour. That's awesome. You have very good taste and you post things that people are interested in. Thanks again, my friend. Tell Dottie hi. I mean, that's, when someone posts something like that, it makes me feel like, hey, so maybe I have a small audience, but I have a small audience that appreciates what I'm doing. And again, what I'm doing is, this was kind of an extreme example of it, but basically my channel is, I'm sharing my life with you. I'm sharing the things that work well for me in my life. And so it's a positive spin, right? One of the things that I don't do is when things really go wrong, I don't get on and go, horrible thing happened. Let me tell you about this horrible thing. If something bad happens, like, something breaks and it costs me a lot of money, it'll happen. And then I will share with you, hey, this thing happened. Here was my solution. And I'll generally be sharing it when I'm like emotionally over it. So I like this to be a positive place. You want to see real life. This isn't it. I'm not going to show you everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to show you the good. I admit it. Absolutely. I'm not going to fake anything, but I want people to know that, hey, if I go see Rob's channel, it's I can count on it being positive. That's all. When I was a little kid, I could count on Mr. Rogers. I can count on the Muppets. I could count on these certain shows that I could consume that I could absolutely count on a positive message. And I really enjoyed that. I still do. Couple science. That's Kathleen. This is so Kathleen. Commenting so my comment can be commented on. If you knew Kathleen, you'd go, yeah, that's her. That's something she would say. And incidentally, probably no other human being would even have the thought process to think to say that. All right, Wendy Sosa. Your vast life experience and knowledge in so many different areas is awesome. This is what draws viewers to you. Thank you for being so transparent. Vast experience and knowledge. I don't think of myself that way. I've done a lot of different things. It's like, you have done such a wide variety of professional things. It's amazing. Or somebody could say, can't you make up your mind? Can't you stick with one thing? What's wrong with you? Jen and Kurt, thank you for sharing your day. Your day seemed relaxing, not rushed or stressed. And it's nice to have a routine during retirement as well. I'm looking forward to when you arrive in Quartzsite. Jen in Minnesota. Thank you, Jen. And Kurt. Naj, thanks for sharing your day at the RV park with us. Now you have to video a day at Quartzsite. Big hug to Dottie and George. Well, Naj, like every day when I'm in Quartzsite, actually, I know what you mean. You want me to do a typical day at Quartzsite, and I've done that before, and I'll do it again. I'll repeat almost every, I have, there are 1,400 plus videos on my channel, and if you go to the quartzsite list, it's hundreds. It's in the hundreds. So many of them are repeats year after year of the same thing, and I'm going to continue to do that. Just because I have 3 videos showing Roadrunner Market doesn't mean I'm going to not do a new this year video on Roadrunner Market. I will. I'll redo all the businesses. I will do certainly more than one day in the life. This is what it's like. I think people would really want to see, okay, you're in quartzsite, you're in the LTVA, you've got your spot, you're going to be in your spot for the whole winter. What do you do? What do you do during the day? What's it? Not the exciting days where you decide you're going to go out on some trek in the desert and visit a ghost town or something. What's just a regular day like? And I've done those in the past. I'm not sure too well, so I'll pay special attention this year to do a well thought out, this is what a typical day is. And I can tell you right now, it's getting up, going for a walk in the desert as the sun comes up with my dog, and visiting my campmates as they awake, having coffee with them, maybe breakfast, and tinkering around with their rig or my rig, then going into town, and when I'm in town, getting my 6 gallons of water that I get every time I'm in town, and whatever little thing that I think I need. I really, when I'm in quartzsite, I love going into town. So I don't go into town and buy a bunch of groceries. No. I go into town and I buy a handful of groceries because I want to go back the next day and buy more. So I spread out my grocery shopping pretty over the days. So I'm always going in someplace. The Roadrunner, Coyote, those are the 2 grocery stores. The dollar store, the discount grocery liquidators, and here's what I find fun about it. I've always loved shopping. That was instilled in me by my father, who used to take me grocery shopping when I was a little boy, and it was wonderful time spent with my dad. And especially when it's busy and people complain about this, they say, oh, the stores are so crowded and you wait in line forever. It's awful. This is like during January, during the peak. That's the best time for me. Why? Because when I'm standing in line, I'm constantly meeting new people. It doesn't take much. You don't have to be like this big extrovert. Conversation starters are all around you. People have stuff in their basket, in their hands. Anything that they're buying is a conversation starter with, hey, are those any good? Are those muffins, are they good? Have you tried them? Conversation starter. And it's gotten easier for me being a YouTuber because half the time people in line recognize me and go, hey, are your travels with Dottie? Well, there we go. We're off to the races. I usually, in my videos, I'll be in the car pulling up to the dollar store, and I'll say, okay, I'm going in. Any bets on how many people I get to meet? Put your guess in the comments. It's a game, and I love it. Okay. Naj, good comment. That got a lot out of me. Tommy Butler. Wow, I can't believe how flimsy RVs. Okay, this is on graphic content. This is my 1.2 million view video from a couple of years ago. And it isn't something that I suggest that you seek out and look at. The description of it will get my point across just fine. I ran across a horrific fatality, Class A RV accident, and because I was stopped in traffic, I was able to film the aftermath of it, and it was devastating. And why did I do it? It's because I did research and found out what the cause was, and I found out there were ways that it might have been prevented had the RV driver been properly trained on how to handle what they call a steering tire blowout, which we believe was the cause of the accident. So I thought, okay, I know a guy from the RV Training Academy that had a great video on how to do that. I reached out, said, do I have permission to link up your video to mine to make it a awareness thing? And he said, yeah, and I put that together, and it's still getting views. It's called Graphic Content, Class A RV Crash Very Tragic. I like having that warning out there because there is a debris field, and there are potentially one or two things that you could see if you look hard enough that could be very disturbing. Right, so this is right after the accident. They had just opened the highway, and they had not removed the bodies yet. And it's not anything. It's just, if you're understanding everything I said in the description, and you get the point that, especially if you drive a Class A, you can look up lots of ways to how do I, you can put how do I handle a steering tire blowout in YouTube, and you'll get tons of training videos. And if you don't know what that means and you drive a Class A, go do that right now. Go do it now. Okay, because as it turns out, your instincts when it happens to jam on the brakes is exactly the wrong thing to do. So you need to get educated on that. If you're driving a Class A, even a Class C, especially a Class A, with all that inertia, weight, momentum going, very serious stuff. That's something that 18-wheelers deal with all the time, and they all get trained in how to handle that particular emergency. So Tommy says, wow, I can't believe how flimsy RVs are. This is definitely a bad accident. This was a head-on collision between this RV and a 18-wheeler loaded with cement, both going probably, I'm going to guess the RV had crossed the median, and so it was probably still going 40, 50 miles an hour in the wrong direction, and the other vehicle, the 18-wheeler, was probably doing 70, 75. So if you think about any RV in those conditions, any construction is too flimsy to stand up to those kinds of forces. So basically all that was left was the tires and the frame. That's it. Everything else from the frame, and the frame is what the axles are attached to, and the RV is built on top of the frame. That RV that was on top of the frame was obliterated, and it was spread over a enormous debris field. So in the case of those kinds of forces, RVs and most anything else that's on the road is going to be flimsy by that definition. This is definitely a bad accident, Tommy says. Wow, it almost impossible to even tell what it was. I can't believe they come apart like that. But both vehicles were big and heavy and going faster than through town, so the impact had to be really terrible. My heart really goes out to all involved. I will take your word for this being the worst you've seen, you having a background dealing with the things. And thank you for all you did. He's talking about my background as a firefighter and a paramedic. When you're at your worst, and emergency people and the nurses are the ones that help you at your very worst and weakest. And I would tell you, you're probably etched across many hearts for what you did and what will never be forgotten. It's not something you ever forget. You are someone who a lot of people will never forget. It takes a special person to do those jobs. You have to have a calling like the service priesthood, healthcare field, mental health care field to do that job. It's not about money at all, but you are greatly appreciated by me too, because I've been on the receiving end of emergency treatment and care. You are much appreciated and beloved for that. I thank you very much. this million view video, I've had thousands of comments on it, and the vast majority, I would say at least half of them, were just rude and nasty. I mean, the venom and ugly things people say about this video, I just, it's mind blowing. It's disheartening that there's thousands of people willing to say just awful things. The really worst of them I've just deleted. But it's fair, and this is the kindest, most generous one that I've ever read on this video in the 2 years that it's been out there collecting those views. It you know, it's just it's really tough. I'm looking at the analytics on it right now. It's at 1.4 million views, 33,000 hours of watch time, and this is a 2-minute video. So people have watched this video for 33,000 hours. Of my 6,000 subscribers, 1,300 are from this video. So that's amazing. 1.3 out of 6,000 is a pretty big number. You know, there, and I think that's net subscribers. And maybe that's gross, because I've lost a lot of them, because people that subscribe to me because of this video get on and see my content and go, "Where are the other accidents?" Well, there are no other accidents. So average view duration, 1 minute 26 seconds. That's almost 60%, and that's kind of unheard of. I mean, when you get something with a lot of views, people click off very early when it's not what they're expecting. Let's see, 8 million impressions, so it's been presented 8 million times, and 13% of the time, 13.5% of the time, which is huge, people click on it and watch it. That 2-minute video, over the time it's been there, has been the income from just that video. In the beginning part of the video, from when it was published in November, it was published November 6, 2022, and I was not monetized. So it went until, let's see, it went until March 4th without any income, because I wasn't monetized. I became monetized, and on the first day, March 6th, I made 13 cents. And then from March 6th, 2023 until today, it's made $1,646.51, dwarfing. This is a 2-minute video of me holding my phone up as I'm slowly driving through in traffic, stopped practically, and me commenting on it, and 2 minutes and 28 seconds. That's it. And it dwarfs the income on anything. So, you know, why didn't you focus on bad accidents? Because this is not what I want to do at all. It was totally happenstance, guys. Totally happenstance. But it's an interesting story about that video, and it's certainly the video that got me monetized. Right? Suddenly my subscribers exploded, and I hit that. To get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and this is sometimes harder, 4,000 hours of watch time. And it can be a long year or more battle to get to that level, so you can start getting ads on your videos. And in this one video did it for me. Okay, so I need to go back to the comments. Okay. I got to find the comment I left off at. And it's this one. Okay, so now we've got Bob Krushak. Bob is a member here. Introduced me to the volleyball. He says, my Annie, Greyhound, and Pete and Lynn's Annie, the Beagle, were best friends. My Greyhound Annie passed away over a year ago, and now I have another Greyhound, Ruby, which you saw last week. Ruby likes Annie, but Annie is not sure of Ruby, probably because she's young. Ask Patty about Annie and Ruby. She loves them. I will. And she's referring to asking Patty's, because a couple of times in the video I show me going over to spend time with my friends here, and I just show a shot of them as I'm coming up, and I don't record them while I talk to them. I just show, here I am for social hour, and then I cut it off. Edie Ron, great video, nothing boring in your day. Hi Dottie and George. Poodle Professor, this is an old video, retiring early, full-time life, tips for frugal nomad living. Poodle Professor says, great information. I need to gather up the courage to just do it. And Terry, hi, Rob, your typical day looks like heaven. Great video, and as always, thanks for making such a strong effort to share. And that looks like the last one, guys, but I'm going to reload, see if there's a new one out there. There isn't. That's it. That's going to be it. I got to get this one out for a walk. And I got to figure out, so do I have a long form video in the bank where I can just click the thing and release a long form video? The answer to that is no, I do not. I don't have anything. So I'm going to have to come up with a video today. And right now it just might be me grabbing a camera when I take Dottie out for a walk and walking and talking about stuff, and we'll see. But you've made it this far. You're my hero. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart that you like listening and watching my videos. It's a big deal for me. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.